Hey guys, welcome back. It seems to me that most people that watch MMA wish that they had the skills or the intelligence to invent their own martial art. But the people, the idiots that we'll be seeing in this video, had none of this. So when they wanted to invent their own style and put it into practice in the UFC, of course, they just got embarrassed. Let's start, but as always, give this video a like and subscribe. Greg the Ranger Stott was a US Army Ranger, and when he got out, he started working on his own style of MMA. He trained in other styles, but I don't think that he was ever an expert in one or more martial arts, not even close. He did train in a few styles, but it seems to me that he only took a few classes, and from there he began to form his own style. And of course, he named his style RIP. It's supposed to have the double meaning, as it said it was a fatal martial art, but he said it actually meant Ranger International Performance. He stated that it could beat all the other styles, since he could kill anyone with it. At UFC 15, the UFC was struggling to find a match for the champion Mark Kerr, so they put up Greg Stott.
Punch. Kerr, a little more seasoned in NHB, and he's been in the octagon.
Stott thought that this would be the best time to show how great his style was, and seeing what he did at the beginning of the fight, it didn't seem to be anything special. On the contrary, it seemed like he was a complete newbie to MMA and was a little delusional, thinking that his style was going to do the trick. He didn't even last 20 seconds.
Opponent, Greg the Ranger stopped. The Ranger goes down.
One knee.
One knee and the fight was over. The good thing was that Kerr turned out to be a merciful person, because he could have kept hitting Stott, but held back until the referee came to stop the fight. The weirdest thing about this style is that he would kick and punch at exactly the same time, something that you never really see. You throw a kick or a punch to open up the defense, and then you throw the other punch. But I've never seen it happen at the same time. In the end, this was the only professional fight Stott ever had, and he went on to train as a bodybuilder after this, which was a better fit for him. Now we have a fighter who amazingly, somehow, miraculously, was able to win a fight in the UFC by going into the fight as an expert in his own brand of MMA called Safta, or Scientific Aggressive Fighting Technology of America. Now, what is Safta? Well, no one really knows, other than it's an aggressive style, as the name says, since Hess, during his fight against Andy Anderson, was penalized $2,000 for poking his eyes twice and stomping on his head. Other than that, this is nothing special. Just take a look at how ugly he fights.
Сайт в атаку на тайквандиста все свое прикладное искусство. Энди Эндерсон, пропуская в голову, валится с ног. И, видимо, это...
He looked like a newborn giraffe moving around the octagon, trying to win over an opponent who knows nothing just like him. He only won the fight because he was so much bigger and because of the cheating techniques that he used.
Бонус плюс 2 сокер-кика. Это технический нокаут.
It was obvious that Hess had no training in any legitimate martial art form, and he was crazy as well, as he said that his inspiration to fight in the UFC was seeing Royce Gracie and thought that he could easily beat him. Just a complete delusional moron. The UFC never let him fight again, but luckily we got to see him one more time against Vitor Belfort with another promotion.
UFC and what a youngster.
He was knocked out in just 12 seconds, showing that he was just a giant clown. Imagine thinking that you can defeat John Jones right now. That's how stupid this guy was. David Colon is another fighter who only had one professional fight in his career and only participated because he wanted to put his own system to the test against the very best. His style was called Jukebox Foo, a combination of jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and kung fu. He said that he could fight comfortably on his feet and on the ground, but that didn't seem to be true, as he didn't look very comfortable in the octagon. He tried to jump guard, but it didn't work at all, and once he was brought to the fence and his opponent landed the very first good punch, his whole style started to come apart. As they say, you have a plan until you get punched in the face, and that was clearly seen here, because he started fighting like he completely forgot his own system. The good thing was that David dared to try his own system, but it seemed like he had never used it before or never taken a good hit to the face, which led to his system failing completely. He never fought again, and we have never heard anything about his style of MMA either. Combining the first two styles is a very good idea, since jiu-jitsu and kickboxing are very good. I don't think it's really necessary to include kung fu though. It's just better to learn MMA, where they combine the best of the best styles. Well, let's finish with a fighter who was possibly the worst human being to compete in MMA, Joe Sun. He was born in South Korea, but came to California at a very young age. His first job in entertainment was in movies, where he acted in various low-budget films, until he finally got to appear in the famous Austin Powers movie as Odd Job. Before this character in Hollywood, he competed with the UFC in 1994, where he was introduced as a Taekwondo practitioner, but they also famously said that he was a Joseon Do practitioner, and in case you couldn't tell, well, that's his own style that he invented. Most people who invent martial arts don't really put their name on it, but this guy likes the attention, and so he put his own name on it. He decided to put his martial arts to the test in the UFC, and he had to fight Keith Hackney, a fighter who Joseon surpassed by more than 30 pounds.
Joseon has not broken the lock yet.
As you can see, Joseon was almost able to submit him, but in those days you could pretty much do whatever you wanted in the UFC, and with several punches to the groin, Hackney managed to break free and defeated Joseon with a very rare submission.
That is allowed in this competition. That is brutal.
It's broken now. Watch for Hackney to strike.
He fought 4 more times in MMA, and guess what? He lost every single one via TKO or submission. And once, he even quit a fight out of terror. That's what it says on his record, that he lost the fight because he was too afraid. But of course, we have to talk about why he is possibly the worst human being to compete in the UFC. In 1990, he raped and tortured a woman for several hours. Although the statute of limitations had run out on the rape, he was able to be arrested and sentenced to prison for the rest of his life for the attempted murder. Then, in 2008, he also killed his cellmate and was sentenced to another 27 years for this crime. As much as I want to understand these people, I will never be able to. Because how is it possible that they really think that they are that good, that they are so talented, that they could invent their own style that actually worked? They are more delusional than Masvidal, thinking that he is going to become champion one day. Thanks for making it to the end, and if you want to help me, please click on the video that appears on the screen right now to see more of some of the best MMA videos that I have. Thanks for watching.